Hey everyone, GPT-5 was released earlier this evening and is already generating plenty of hype. Many people are calling it brilliant, especially at coding, and it is said to be the answer to the whole universe. In this live coding session, I'm gonna show you in detail how GPT-5 is struggling and is having serious problems with some obvious and pretty easy tasks in coding. I'm gonna ask it to develop a Rubik's Cube project in HTML. I was really expecting it to do it pretty fast and even in one shot. Especially that Rubik's Cube is a famous project. I'm sure it has seen lots of relevant codes in its pre-training and also in its post-training steps. But yet we'll see that I did try 3 times with it. In the first 2 tries, it has serious problems, such as it couldn't show the Rubik's Cube in the page at all. And after several iterations, it finally showed the cube, but the animations were implemented incorrectly and the whole cube was a mess. And it was in the 3rd try that after several iterations and back and forth, it could complete the project. And of course, it has several bugs, and I'll show you how to interact with it to fix those bugs. So let's see how GPT-5 works in action in a real project and what challenges are we facing with it. And by the way, if you're interested in developing AI agents and doing agentic AI projects in Python, you can check my other videos in which I explain from scratch how to develop interesting applications and agentic AI projects. So let's see GPT-5. Okay. I'll be using VS Code and GitHub Copilot in this video, and I'm not just gonna test how good GPT-5 is at coding. I would also like to see how good it is at figuring out my intentions. So my prompt will not be that specific. Instead, I want to give it some flexibility and freedom to see how it behaves and how it tries to handle my command. So let's see. Develop a 3D Rubik's Cube, and in pure HTML and JS it should have fancy graphics and smooth animation for layer rotations, and it should also have shuffle, solve, and reset buttons. And make sure your Copilot is set for GPT-5 and it's in agent mode. And yes, let's see. Okay, it says, I'll create a simple web application with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript that renders a 3D Rubik's Cube with smooth animated layer rotations and these buttons. It will also include mouse drag to orbit the cube, fancy visuals, and a move queue to manage animations. Okay, we have a network problem. Let's try again. I'll update the CSS to add direction-specific sticker transforms and spacing, and adjust the JavaScript to create correctly oriented sticker faces for each visible side of a cubelet. Cool. Okay, it seems to be done. Let's see. Open index.html. Okay, I'm gonna open it with Google Chrome. And let's see. Wow. It's good, but okay. Drag to orbit, shuffle scrambles with random turns, solve undoes the history, reset returns to solved. Okay. I mean, it's strange. And I can say it's uncontrollable. I mean, I can rotate the whole cube, but I cannot rotate a layer. Okay. We need to get back to it and say that it needs to be smaller. It shouldn't go into the menu bar, and there's no movement right now. So it's so big that it overlaps with the menu bar. Make it smaller, and none of its layers move at all. Make sure I can move the layers with mouse clicks, and make sure I don't need to scroll down the page. So in the first shot, it wasn't that effective, I guess. As you just saw, the Rubik cube was so large and it was hitting the menu bar, and I couldn't even move a layer. Okay, let's see now. Size is reduced. Click turns. Okay. Click any sticker to rotate that face. Drag still orbits. And we have animations. Okay, let's see. Oh my god, it's still hitting the menu bar. And okay. And this face is black and the other face is black as well. This is also quite disappointing. Oh my god. You can see, it's a mess. Okay, let's get back. It's still large. It's still hitting the menu bar. And when I click to rotate a layer, the cube is corrupted. Okay. Fix this. Let's see. Okay, let's see now. Thanks, I made 2 fixes. Let's see. Drag to orbit, click any sticker to turn that face, and these buttons will work. Still work. We don't know yet, let's see. Okay, this is better. And oh, now I can't even rotate it. Oh, this is a mess. Yeah, you see, this is a mess. Let's see if the shuffle button works. No. So let's get back. The animations are implemented incorrectly. The layer goes out of the cube for some moments. Some of the faces are black. They shouldn't be. Make sure the animation is done smoothly and correctly. Size reduced, smooth animation, no black faces. Let's see. Drag to orbit, click a figure to rotate that face. Okay. Okay, we still have black face. And the animation is still disappointing. So I'm not sure. I believe this project has reached to a failure. So let's start over, because I guess continuing this one will only make it worse. So this is absolutely a failure for GPT-5. Let's start over, because GPT-5 is an LLM, and these LLMs are really doing sampling in their next token prediction. Of course, if you're not familiar with these concepts, don't worry at all. But sometimes starting over and trying again might really help. Okay, this is a new project, and I want to be a little bit more specific in my first prompt to see how it behaves. So, develop a 3D Rubik's Cube in HTML and JS. Make sure to have a fancy, colorful graphics. Once clicked on a piece or cubelet, the whole face or layer should rotate with a smooth animation. So in the last version, I wasn't explicit about how I want to rotate the layers, but now I'm telling it. And it should also have shuffle, solve, and reset buttons. Insert the menu bar on the left and use the majority of space for the cube. Okay. Oh, I'm not sure what was my LLM. Oh my god, it was Cloud 4. So let's start over again. Yeah, it should be GPT-5. And it's in agent mode. Let's go. Yeah. And I have a network error. I'm not sure if this error is really mine or this is for OpenAI servers. Okay, let's see. Build a self-contained web application with a left sidebar and a 3D Rubik's Cube using tree.js. And how to run open index.html in a browser or use a local server for best results. Okay. On Mac with Python, enter this command and visit localhost. Okay, so let me run the server. No, I cannot see the Rubik's Cube. So let's get back to Copilot and say I cannot see the cube itself. That part is fully black. So not that good at the first shot again. Let's see what happens with the follow-ups. Okay, another network error. Okay, thanks. This looked like a rendering or init issue. I've updated the app. What to try, reload the page, make sure you're serving the file or HTTP, and open this. Okay. So let's run the server again. And we need to use localhost. HTTP localhost. Again, no Rubik's Cube. Yeah, nothing is happening. So let's get back to it one more time to see if it works or not. I cannot see the cube again. It's all black. And now let's open the localhost again. And again, no Rubik's Cube. So it's not working again. We've tried this already twice in 2 separate projects. Now I'm gonna give it a last shot. I'm gonna start over and see if it can generate the Rubik's Cube project or not. Let me copy my initial prompt. Now I'm gonna help it and I'm gonna be even more specific. Make sure to have okay, Develop a 3D Rubik's Cube in HTML and JS. It should run with a Python server. Make sure to Python local server. Make sure to have a fancy colorful graphics. Okay. Now I'm also specifying that it's okay. Make it somehow that it can render in a local server. Okay. Just let's make sure it's running on GPT-5 and it's in agent mode. Yeah. Let's start over. Okay, it seems to be done. It's running the local server, so let's refresh. Okay, this is the new code. And we can still see the Rubik's Cube. This is strange. The cube is not there. There is a black screen. It seems to be done. So let's run the server. And let's load the page again. Okay, now we're seeing something, but oh, it's really strange. But at least we're seeing it, so let's see. Okay. The layer is rotating, but you see the colors aren't changing. So maybe I can get back and give this feedback. Okay. And let's see if the shuffle button works. It is making some random moves, it seems so, but as you see, the colors are not changing. So let's get back. So there is a lot of moving shadow on the cube. Make sure there is no shadow at all and all of the colors are clear. And two, the animations, or let's say the layers, rotate now with animation, but the colors are always fixed and the cube is always, or seemed to be solved after each animation. And it seems to be a little slow. Make sure the animations are smooth. Fix these problems. Honestly, this version seems more promising, although you see it couldn't do it in the first shot and not even in the second shot, but we're seeing some improvements. Okay. I fixed all three issues. No shadow, clear colors, disabled shadows. Okay. Colors now rotate with layers. Smoother, faster animation. Let's see. So let's run the local server again. Oh, we have the shadow again, but so yes, the rotation seems fine now, but we still have the problem with lighting and shadow. And let's see, for example, if I do a shuffle, it seems to be working. I guess the logic is correct, but we still have the problem with the shadows. So let's get back and tell it. The animation and rotations seemed fine now, but the shadow problem is still there. There seems to be some moving shadows over the cubelets. Make sure there is light everywhere. Yeah. Okay, done. Let's see. Yes, this is way better. We still have some problems, especially from some angles, but it's better, but it's not there yet. Okay. And let's see the reset button. Yeah, it worked. And let's see the solve button. No, I did. Yeah, let's solve it. Yeah, the solve logic is also there, but still, you know, it's not at its best. We should ask it to improve this version. So let's get back. The cube is not clearly visible at all. I can still see lots of moving shadows over it, and some faces seem to be black, or maybe shadow is hindering them. Make sure to eliminate any kind of shadow and make sure no face is black. I eliminated the remaining artifacts and black faces. Let's see. Oh, this seems promising. Yes. And let's see. The animation seems okay. Okay. And let's solve it. Yes. Yeah, this seems promising. And also let me see if the animation speed works. It became slower. So let's set it to the maximum. It's even much slower. Let's set it to the minimum. Oh. You know, this doesn't seem to be speed, but you know, this is the reverse speed, but it's fine for now. So now it's done, and let's add some more challenge for GPT-5. Now I'm gonna ask it to add a tunable parameter for the number of rows and columns in each layer. So let's get back here. Now add a tunable input for the number of rows and columns in each layer. Let's see. Added a size n times n times n input in the left setting. Okay. And let's see. Okay, now if I set it to 2, let's see. Cool. Solve. Shuffle. And solve. And let's go with 5. Okay. And I can zoom out with my scrolls. Okay, and let's shuffle again. And let's solve it. Yes, it's working. No, it's not. So it couldn't solve it. You see, there are lots of bugs when you do VibeCoding. For example, this looked fine to me, but as you just saw, it couldn't solve this cube. So let me get back and give it a feedback. It seems to be working, but it didn't solve a 5 times 5 times 5 cube correctly and stopped in the middle of way. Okay, thanks. The solve button just reverses your shuffle, and it stopped because floating point rounding drifted indices midway. Okay. So let's start again. Okay, now this works. Now let's change it to 5 times 5 times 5 cube. This seems to be working as well. Now let's shuffle it. And now let's solve it. Yes, it works. Now let's do one more test. I guess this will introduce a new bug. So I'll change this like this one. And now I shuffle again. And now I solve it. Let's see. Yes, you see, we have a problem here. And the problem is that I manually shuffled it a little bit and then click on the shuffle button. It didn't save my manual moves, and that's why it cannot solve it correctly. So this is the bug we're experiencing now. Let's get back and solve it. The problem is that when I do some random rotations and then click on the shuffle button, it doesn't seem to know all of my movements, all of the history necessary to solve the cube. Let's see. And I can see that we have a max of 7 for our slider for the size of the cube. This is fine, but I also like to try larger cubes, like with 15 cubelets in each row and column. Okay, let's see if our bug is fixed or not. So I would go with a 5. Let's shuffle it manually. And let's click on the shuffle button. And now let's solve it. Yes, it's okay. And the last challenge, I wanted to change the background such that it looks like the cube is inside the galaxy with some moving stars and planets and some of them shining. Let's see. Now make it look like that the cube is inside the galaxy with stars and planets, some of them moving and some of them shining beautifully. Let's see. Okay, added a galaxy backdrop. Let's see. Oh, this is cool. Let's make it a 7 times 7 times 7 cube. And I need to zoom out. Let's shuffle it. And now let's solve it. Okay, this is really cool. But as you saw, it wasn't that good at the beginning. I mean, we had 2 separate sessions before this one and it couldn't solve the problem. And this was our 3rd try from scratch. And even in this try, it couldn't solve it in a single shot. We had to go back and forth to improve it and fix its bugs and its problems. But in the end, it turned out to be able to do that. And I'm sure this takes much longer for other LLMs to solve the same task. So you see, our agents aren't that effective in the first shot yet, and they're not that effective in some obvious tasks that seem really obvious to us as human beings. For example, I declared that it has some moving and annoying shadows twice or 3 times, and it couldn't figure it out and fix it. But after 2 or 3 tries, it was able to fix the problem. So if you want to do low projects with VibeCoding, don't expect the agent to do all of the project flawlessly without any bug in the first shot. You usually need to iterate and go back and forth with the agent several times, and you need to really be patient with the agent. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to drop your comments about this video, or if you have any cool suggestion for VibeCoding, any challenging problem, or any similar experience you had with especially GPT-5, please drop them down in the comments. Until the next time, take care.